everyone. Welcome to the Saturday stream. A continuation of yesterday's topic, the Laura Owens family bankruptcies. And as we saw yesterday, Laura and her mom are both certifiably insane and insufferable. They can't keep anything they say straight. So we will be continuing her parents' bankruptcy and getting into the most recent 716 hearing, which is just, I don't know. It's no wonder why she turned out how she did. But anyway, I do have two guests today, and you will see them shortly. And we will be doing a Lauren stream after this. So for everyone who enjoys that, we will be redirected. But there's plenty of just playlists in the description of this video to check out all the subject we cover, such as Laura Owens, Sarah Boone, Lauren Armstrong, Robert Tellis, Diane Downs. The list of morons continues to grow. But if you would go ahead and hit a like button on your way in or on your way out, that would be great. All right, let's get the show started. Well, I haven't done the three intros in a while, but that's because I've been on my own a little bit lately. But anyway, let's talk to our guests here. We've got, of course, first, you know him as, I know him, you know him as ExDerek. I know him as America's sweetheart. How are you, ExDerek?
Good, and you?
Good, good. I'm well, Rabbi, well. And of course, you all know her as
America's heartthrob.
America's heartthrob.
America's sex symbol.
Hey, I didn't say that. All right.
I did.
Oops. Wrong one. No. Where is it? Hi, Suma. Suma, come loud mouth. Well, I just immediately hit the wrong buttons at the same time. Thank you both for joining me. And to catch people up that weren't here yesterday on where we ended off, basically they filed really quickly. They filed for Chapter 13 in 2025, her parents. It was denied in January of 2026 because they failed to continue making their payments as instructed. They didn't turn in the tax forms that they needed to, and they objected to disclosure something. So the court said, no, you can't do it. So then they've refiled for Chapter 11 in May of 2026. And the court's like, nothing has changed. What are you doing? And their paper was still garbage, and it still was inconsistent with what they had put on their tax returns or said before. So the judge said, hey, you got to fix this stuff. And why don't you come back and we'll do a status hearing. So then on 6/30, her parents met with Jennifer Giamo, who's the trustee. And at that point, her parents said, hey, we want to withdraw our petition. And Jennifer's like, okay, well, if you're willing to agree to, a 1-year bar on refiling, that's fine with me. She goes, but I don't know if the judge will grant it. So we better, just keep continuing as if it's going, but it could be dropped. And then the next day, there was this meeting, which is it's a status hearing. No, it's not. On July 1st, they met with the judge to request an extension on the stay because they don't want to lose their house. They filed right before they were going to be foreclosed on. That's the whole thing. And the judge is not really happy with it. So I've cut this down to about 8 minutes. It's just the important parts because
just roll back
the last
and say
part is so long. But essentially, they started this discussion by saying, hey, we want to withdraw our bankruptcy filing. The judge is like, well, it doesn't actually work like that. And the reason that people might understand this is because there's protections for not being foreclosed on. So you can't just file and then go, oh, oops, I'm undoing it. Because if you weren't really in a bankruptcy situation and you're just, fending off a foreclosure, It's called, deceiving the court or whatever, bad faith. And if nothing has changed since the last filing, that's also bad faith. So that's what they're determining. So her parents have got themselves in a little bit of a problem here.
Shocker.
Okay.
Well, let me just roll back and say that at the last hearing, the court did temporarily extend the stay under 105 and 362 and directed that the debtors.
It's actually funny because they want to withdraw, but they also are asking, but can you extend the stay on the foreclosure for us as well?
Yeah, I was confused because I thought they wanted to withdraw, but then I was like, well, then what happened?
No, they do. They want the withdrawal because they weren't able to find an attorney, and now they want the court to extend the foreclosure stay because her plan is now she's going to find a lawyer and they're going to handle it outside of the bankruptcy Chapter 11 thing, because what they're realizing is, we still don't want to disclose our financial stuff.
I don't think they have any proper.
Yeah, that's all they're doing. They're trying to avoid filling out and providing the information they absolutely need to. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they think they're going to have some private solution.
All makes sense now, like you said.
Like maybe what do they get? Debt consolidation services? That's probably what she's thinking. But I don't think they do that with houses. So anyway.
Complete their filings in this case. There were schedules and statements filed, but they were replete with error. And also the debtors need to provide information to the Office of the U.S. Trustee. That date has come and gone, and the last I checked, there were no papers on the docket to satisfy those requirements.
So they had 2 weeks. They didn't turn anything in, so they failed at that. Jen Wilson, thanks you for your coverage, $5. Love your channel so much. Love Suman XD2. Best chat. XOXO. Oh, it is a teaser for the Lauren stream. It is going to be a text message read with between Suma and maybe either ExDerek or myself, depending on who reads for Lauren. It depends on how ExDerek's tummies feels. And Meowfeeba guy gifted 20 Hear Me Out memberships. Oh, amazing. Thank you very much. Congratulations to those who got them. And if you remember, it's only $1. There is member exclusive content if you feel like joining, but no pressure.
Outstanding.
All right, let's listen to these idiots again.
I did, however, see that the debtors filed a motion to dismiss this case. At the last hearing,
Welcome.
I heard a lot of information about ponies and GoFundMe accounts, which leads the court to believe that there could potentially be non-exempt assets that could be recovered should this case be converted to a Chapter 7. And similarly, if there has been a fraud upon the court or otherwise, whether the debtors could be denied a discharge. What concerned me was if we had this large sum of money for the GoFundMe.
By the way, what is flashing and beeping? That's an edit. I've jumped because it was way longer than it needed to be.
GoFundMe account, that seems to be an asset that could be potentially recovered for the benefit of creditors. That money should be recovered for the benefit of all the other creditors.
I was going to
Said what? That they're idiots? Oh yeah. No, we judge people here. We judge them based on what they've done. It's crazy.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Or why else? If anyone catches me using the word alleged someday, mail me a hand grenade without the pin.
But be careful.
So for those who are confused on why this is also an issue, this GoFundMe. So the court was told about the GoFundMe money by somebody in the chat on the previous hearing. And then she's like, well, I want to know what happened to this money, because essentially the court is, now that they've alerted that we could be facing bankruptcy, but now they want to withdraw. Okay, well, they have creditors out there, people that they haven't paid. So if they do something like take all the GoFundMe money and pay it to one person or something, basically liquidate all their money, and then none of the creditors have any access to it because it was all spent, that's unfair to the other creditors. So the court is thinking, hey, let's do an examination, because you can't just be paying some creditors and not the others. Unfortunately, most of the money is going to family members, so, or in Macy's cards. So
tell you that no funds have been transferred. And with regard to the GoFundMe, which I'm sure you were.
And so this is Jan talking, Jan/Liz. She's just gonna.
It's the attorney?
No, this is her mom. So you can tell because it's very low energy. It's like, so she's trying to explain why the GoFundMe isn't a problem.
Notified by the online smear campaign that has gone against us.
So let me just interrupt you to say that the court only reviews what is filed with the court. So I know you referenced an online smear campaign before. I really have no idea what you're talking about. All I have is what's been filed on the docket and what people tell me in open court. I do not independently go out, and it would be unethical for this judge or any judge to go out and do background research on people and learn about them. So just so you know, that's the way the court will operate.
And I'm not suggesting that.
Okay. She's not suggesting that. Sorry, Judge, I didn't want you to get the wrong impression. That's not what I was intimating when I said, I'm sure you've been alerted to the GoFundMe by the online smear campaign. What do you think she's going to do right now? She's going to intimate it again.
Oh, right into that.
I know that the smear campaign people have said online that they have sent information to your office. So I don't know whether you've received it or not. And I know that they also said.
What did she just say, you moron? She just said she doesn't look at any of that. God.
Sent it to the U.S. Trustee's office. But with regard to the GoFundMe, as I mentioned before, it was started in 2024 and
yeah, like December 31st, 2024. So it's not like ancient history here, dumbass.
Hear me out.
all of the
Yeah.
So, again, I'm very new. So I was saying this to Hear Me Out in Summa before the stream started. I'm very new to this trial. This GoFundMe was specifically being used to raise money to finance the court costs?
No. So what happened is, and they'll get into more detail of it, but essentially at the end of 2024, the Owens, somebody put a GoFundMe up for Ron saying, hey, Ron is, entertained the masses for decades. And if, he's in poor health because of his 4 strokes and a heart attack and Parkinson's, and which has really hit us tough, both physically and financially. So if you ever made your life better and you want to show your support, here you go. So they started this GoFundMe, and it started at like 60,000, and then they raised it to 120 after they got that, and then they raised it to 140. So they got about $139,000 or something in there, or 140, whatever, roughly. And then they took that all out, and then there's no real explanation of what happened to it. So did you pay something did you pay Gingras, her attorney, in the stupid lawsuit, right? Because she's trying to file bankruptcy now saying, I can't pay Clayton. Well, how is she able to pay Gingras, right? And so they want to know, where did all this money go? Because they also make $21,000 a month in pension and Social Security. They are swimming in cash. And I'm almost certain those are, they are not tax deferred ones. So they paid the tax on the money going in, so it's tax-free coming out on the pension, because she says, like, I'm sure we didn't owe money or we didn't owe taxes that year. Well, the only way you would know that is if you knew that the pension was tax-free. You know what I mean? S-Thong Super Sticker, $5. Thank you very much. Meowfy Guy, $5. Family full of punchable faces. I'm going to go to jail tonight. Anyway,
the funds from that.
But Jan is trying to say, I'm just going to say Jan or Liz. Oh, Jan is how I know her. Jan is going to try to say, no, look, all that money was gone before we filed, so I don't know why it matters. Well, it does matter, because like I just said, if you go and clean out your bank accounts and then bury the cash, and then you go, hey, I got to declare bankruptcy, you don't have any cash. They're like, well, what happened to all the cash you had yesterday?
And every word you say screams shyster.
Yes.
Were exhausted with the exception of maybe, I don't know, a couple $100 or something like that, were all completely exhausted by the time that we filed Chapter 13 last August. That money was used, and in fact, the GoFundMe was started in part to try to prevent this bankruptcy and the Chapter 13 that we'd had to file last August.
Which also doesn't make sense. You got $140,000. How much did you need to avoid bankruptcy? Exactly, right? They raised $140,000. They're getting 300 some income. So they got $500,000, and now they still need to file? They're $190 behind on their mortgage. It's ridiculous. It does not add up. They're not jet setting around. I could understand if they were high rollers or something, you could burn through your cash quick, but they're staying at a house in Arizona.
Yeah, we've seen that house. It does not look like there's a very high overhead there. And he had a very lucrative career for many, 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 many years.
And you could say it's medical, but then she can't provide any medical bills really that they've paid. It's just weird. It's weird. It's something's going on.
To try to.
And that's why you never would want to do what they did where, hey, bankruptcy court, go ahead and make me open my books.
Get the funds. And at that point, some of the funds from the GoFundMe were used to pay mortgage at that point. Like I say, before we filed the Chapter 13. So it was all virtually exhausted by.
Oh my God. Their mortgage is $14,000 a month. They got to move. They can't live in a
mortgage. Why
they sold their house in San Francisco and then moved to Arizona and bought the thing. $14,000 a month.
$14,000 a month?
Yeah, on their mortgage.
$14,000 a month?
That's ridiculous.
What the hell is their house?
It's in Mesa. Is it Mesa? I think it's Mesa. I don't know where. Maricopa.
Mesa or Tempe.
Whatever.
I think it's
either way.
$14,000 a month.
I could solve this problem real quick. You know what? Kick your daughter out since she's 35. She could go ahead and get a job, right? You don't have to have the casita for us.
Street.
And go ahead and get yourself a little condo, right? Or an apartment.
I don't know how they managed to get such a high mortgage for that house they're living in.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's more than one mortgage.
I think it happened in 2020, so housing prices would have been spiking up.
Well, that's also stupid. I mean, these people should know better. They're not kids. Like, these are all bad investments, and I don't believe any of it anyway.
They must have a HELOC on this thing.
They call this house a hacienda, and there's
the hacienda.
Hacienda and a casita.
Oh, casita. That's what it is. Casita. And
Laura lives in the casita.
Oh, okay. So that's why it looks
behind the house.
Yeah,
but $14,000 a month, and they're making $21,000 each in
casita
a year in Social Security.
I mean, I don't remember what the rule is. Is the rule that your rent isn't supposed to be more than? It's not supposed to be more than half. I know that, but is it a quarter?
Generally, I've heard a quarter.
Quarter.
Yeah.
So they can afford a house at $21,000, which is still a lot of money. They can afford a $5,000 mortgage. Okay, not a $14,000 mortgage. This is just ridiculous.
I would venture to say by May of 2025. So that's why it wasn't. We didn't mention it in the Chapter 13 filing because it didn't exist. It had been used.
That's right. Their other daughter co-signed on the mortgage, and I'm sure the
is that daughter still talking to them?
Sarah? I don't know. I didn't follow up on that part.
Oh, is the daughter's name Sarah?
The other daughter's name is Sarah. Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah, $21,000 includes a pension and Social Security.
Transfers that are made shortly before the bankruptcy filing do have to be disclosed. That it's problematic if you did not disclose the use of those funds. I'm going to order and direct that you provide the records concerning that particular issue to Ms. Jimos. Do you have any questions?
Okay, so it's very clear. The judge goes, Well, it does matter. You need to provide exactly what happened to that GoFundMe money. It's a judge's order, sua sponte order.
Questions about the information I'm directing you to turn over to Ms. Giamo?
If you could just outline it again so that I can take a note on it.
I'm really asking for a full accounting of the GoFundMe account, the monies that were received and the monies that were spent and how they were spent. You know, what did you get? When did you get it? What did you do with it? Where are your receipts?
Okay.
Pretty straightforward. What did you get from who? Where did it go? Show us. And we can do that. There's a HELOC. Okay, but even if there's a HELOC, there's lending limits on properties. I don't understand what bank would give them a HELOC that made their mortgages in aggregate $14,000. It's ridiculous.
Okay, but again, that was all prior to the Chapter 13, that if we'd had those funds, we wouldn't have needed to file Chapter 13 or Chapter 11.
That doesn't make any sense, ma'am. That sentence makes no sense. If we had the funds, we wouldn't have had to file. You did have the funds, and you did file. What planet are these people on? She's just word salad.
Well, I hear what you're saying. Some transfers can be recovered.
Okay, Ravina Denver has a question, the same question that ExDerek was asking. Ravina Denver, okay, why is this national news then? Lots of people do this stuff. Is it because the Bachelor guy is involved, or why does everyone talk about this? We talk about this because of their troll daughter back here, Laura, keeping an eye over their shoulder, who doesn't work, who's been doing the stupid grift with her mom, where they do some stupid bullshit podcast, and all the men she has dragged through hell in court, and now her parents, who fully support her financially, are saying, well, we're broke, and it's all stemming from her actions of lying about these men in the criminal case she's going to face. So I was saying to Sue and ExDerek, if they were just her parents of the terrible child and filing bankruptcy separately, I wouldn't really give a shit. But it's because they very clearly are having a financial impact from her lies, and they still support her. So that's what we're talking about.
Despite the past.
That's why it's national, or interesting to me at least. This is 100% self-imposed.
Passage of time. If there were funds that were transferred in a particular period, they would be of interest to the U.S. Trustee's office. Okay? Whatever that office is asked for, I'm ordering and directing you to cooperate and to provide that to her.
Your Honor, we were unable to do that. I had presumed that we would be able to get counsel to help us. This was never my intention to file pro se, and I'm very aware of the fact that Chapter 11 is a very exhaustive chapter to go into as a pro se litigant, and that was not our intent. Our intent was to be able to get counsel, and we have been unable to obtain counsel.
Well, you know your financial circumstances best, and so you should be able to reconstruct that information and gather those records to provide it to Ms. Giamo.
Yeah, it's your own numbers. They're not asking you to file briefs. It's filling out a form. How much gross income did you have from your business? And if somebody else who doesn't know you can figure it out from your bank statements, you should be able to figure it out. Yeah, okay. Somebody said, oh yeah, AKA the cat lady said, the house has been fully financed from the moment they bought it. Then Laura wanted to be an entrepreneur and try using the mortgage method to buy properties. Okay, but what happened to the money? She didn't end up, they bought the Lizmax property and that got forfeited. Is that where all the money went? They got nothing out of it? That's the dumbest decision I've ever heard of. Sweets Forever, $5. I had to pull over and send this. If they sold in San Francisco after decades, they would be drowning in money. Assuming is right. Shiesty, I love you, guys. Yeah, he sold his house in 2020 that he had been in it for decades, I think. I don't know. I don't know how long he'd been there, so.
But, Your Honor, I'm
one more.
And directed that
to get.
One more. Bella's mom, $5. First mortgage and HELOC were approved using income from Sarah and husband. Oh, sister Sarah. Now we got another Sarah we have to differentiate from here. Also mysterious payments to Laura. Yeah, well.
Your Honor, we were unable to do that. I had presumed that we would be able to get counsel to help us. This was never my intention to file pro se, and I'm very aware of the fact that Chapter 11 is a very
but you did, you moron.
Exhaustive chapter to go into as a pro se litigant, and that was not our intent. Our intent was to be able to get counsel, and we have been unable to obtain counsel.
Well, you know your financial circumstances best, and so you should be able to reconstruct that information and gather those records to provide it to Ms. Giamo.
They're retired. Both of them are retired. But this is an older picture. I think they're both in their 80s or late 70s. They don't look good. Not saying that people in their 70s or 80s don't look good in general. I'm saying these two do not look.
I've been
like
trying to figure
well.
out who her mother looks like, and I've settled on either Ed McMahon.
Yeah, I can see it with a wig.
Buddy Hackett or Ethel Merman. Those are the three people.
I like Ed McMahon.
Yeah, Ed McMahon.
Just throw some thick rimmed big
Ed
glasses
McMahon,
on
the later years.
the later years. And Laura's never had a job. Not does she not only not have a job, she has never had a job. They have their own businesses they run.
Talks, and to hear her TED talk or whatever, has a very lucrative. I don't know what the fuck she pretended to do. It was one of those bullshit jobs, shyster.
Yeah.
Self-employed.
Entrepreneur.
And up until this whole thing, every time she was in court before this really got serious, her lawyers were always talking about how successful she is and independent, and I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, she got on the stand. Like that's what we covered in the first part yesterday with her bankruptcy. Obviously, guys.
Sorry, I'll be right back.
Okay.
She testified about how much money she was making on the record in her stupid case that she lost, and that is what's been used to impeach her, and that's why she had to drop hers. But her parents can't drop it because they stayed the foreclosure. Okay, I'm gonna have to read the super chat. I'll try and read them in groups, but let's just get through this first video. It's got a couple minutes left.
But Your Honor, I'm unable to without adequate counsel. If I had been able to do that on my own, we would have continued this on our own.
Right, but you filed this case. You filed a Chapter 11 bankruptcy case. It's not appropriate to file bankruptcy and park in bankruptcy and obtain the protections of bankruptcy and yet not fulfill the obligations. And so again, that is your obligation. You filed this case. You undertook these duties and responsibilities, and now I'm directing you to cooperate. And this will give Ms. Giamo an opportunity to receive the papers that the court has directed you to give to her in connection with the IDI and the 341. You haven't provided them. From where the court sits, you're currently in contempt, ma'am.
Oh, I understand.
Do you
understand?
I understand.
Okay.
Ms. Giamo, do you have an opinion?
what?
I just said, I understand. I don't understand.
So I think the deadline they set was the 10th. Maybe I don't know, but they said maybe I cut it out. They set a deadline. Hey, you got to turn in the papers by the 10th so I can look at them before our hearing. Now this genius, well, unburdened by genius, Jan is going to go, well, Your Honor, the foreclosure is set for the 28th, but our next hearing isn't set for the 6th. So, I was wondering, can it be extended? And which is weird again, because they're trying to withdraw the bankruptcy, right? And she gives this whole long explanation. We're like, well, no, we've been contacting the mortgage company because there's some very illegal things and all this blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Dad does look like Robert Duvall. But now we're going to get to Jennifer responding to her word salad. I cut it out as pointless.
Opinion?
Yes, Your Honor. The U.S. trustee objects to the extension of the stay. I mean, this is precisely one of the reasons that the U.S. trustee considered the case to be filed in bad faith and an abuse of the system. I believe that the debtors have not paid their mortgage to the tune of $191,000 of arrearages. And while they're seeking the benefit of the stay, they haven't complied with the obligations of the bankruptcy court to justify getting the benefit of the stay.
Yep.
With respect to the pendency of the automatic stay, I have to agree with Ms. Jamo that there's no basis upon which this court should continue to extend the automatic stay. The court's going to deny that requested relief. But I cannot find that there's clear and convincing evidence of a change in circumstances between the dismissal of the Chapter 13 case and the filing of the Chapter 11 case for the reasons that we discussed at the prior hearing.
Yes, just one thing, Your Honor. I just want to clarify for the record the deadline by which the debtors need to provide our...
Oh, here's the deadline clarification. Okay, so anyway, the stay is not extended, so they're screwed.
Office with the...
Yeah, exactly, Ravina. $190,000 behind. Now, I guess it's $14,000 a month, so that's only, what, a year? Or no? Yeah, maybe about a year. Year and 14 months. It's a lot. Why is my monitor going to turn off? Okay, so now we need to clarify the deadline.
Number one, the accounting of all the GoFundMe funds, and two, all of the documents that they already are on notice of being required to produce as part of the initial debtor interview. May I suggest that the deadline be set no later than Friday, July 10th, because that gives me sufficient opportunity to review the documents before the 341 meeting.
Hereby ordered that no later than Friday, July 10, the required documentation for the 341, the initial debtor interview, and the GoFundMe accounting shall be provided to Ms. Jamo's office.
Okay, so that's the only important parts from this one. So what do we have established so far right now based on this? We have established that A, the dismissal is not guaranteed. B, you have to turn in the stuff because it was deficient, and now you need to turn in the GoFundMe accounting of the money from there, and you have until the 10th to do it. All right? Very clear. And Jan said, yo, okay, I know. She took notes and all that crap. So then if we fast forward to the 7th, which is a week later, this is a status hearing. There's only 2 minutes in here. We're just listening to this before it. Yeah, here we go.
Ms. Jamo?
Thank you, Your Honor. The only thing that I would ask that the court convey to the debtors is that...
Oh, so the part I cut out, it begins with Jan going, oh, yeah, well, like Miss Jimo wasn't there at the very beginning. And she's like, oh, no, yeah, we've got everything, actually, but we tried to email it, but it didn't go through. It's like so huge and everything. And she's like, okay, well, then bring it on a flash drive, or you got to provide it to him. Like, no, we talked to them, and there's another way we're going to do it. So it's all, just ticky-tack, technical stuff. And then Giamo gets on, and I would say probably undermines their credibility of what they're saying.
So, Ms. Jamo?
Thank you, Your Honor. The only thing that I would ask that the court convey to the debtors is that, first of all, they both absolutely need to appear telephonically at the initial debtor interview. They have received an email notice of when that's going to be held. They just never showed up at the last one.
So they missed a hearing. They just didn't show up.
So I would ask that that be done. They also both need to appear and testify telephonically at the 341 meeting. And then the last thing is, yes, I am in communication with Ms. Owens about getting documents. I know Your Honor had ordered them to provide an accounting of the GoFundMe funds, and that's what I was expecting was an itemized accounting. From what I can tell, I'm not getting that. What I'm getting is sort of a document dump of bank statements.
Now, I hadn't even heard this part, but this is what I said on Laura Knighty's channel. I just Jan thought like a document dump was going to stump this trusty lawyer. Now, accountants know how to handle a document dump, especially if it's a PDF bank statement. You can convert that into Excel easily and then go ahead and number bot it.
And that's fine. I will go through the bank statements myself, but then I need to make sure I have all of the bank statements. So I'm going to ask that the debtors provide me copies with all of the bank statements of all the accounts into which the GoFundMe funds were deposited and from which the GoFundMe funds were dispersed for the entire period starting from when the GoFundMe campaign began.
All right. Ms. Daly, do you have any questions or concerns about the request?
No, I think that is more than reasonable.
Okay, more than reasonable. She understands the request. And she understands that what she has sent is not an accounting of the Groupon funds.
Yes, I can. I mean, that is included in the file that we have sent to her. But I think that there is a way that I can clarify it for her, so that, and I can maybe point her more in the direction of instead of having to look at each and every one of these things. I think I can clarify that, and I will do so in an email this afternoon.
Okay, very good. Thank you. For my information, because I'm not sure exactly how it works on those GoFundMe accounts, I'm assuming there's a statement, much like a bank statement, that shows incoming amounts and potentially who they came in from, and then shows amounts withdrawn and where they went, i.e., to a particular bank account. Is that accurate?
Correct, and it's very, very clear. It's a very clear paper trail where it came in, how much came in, what day it came in, and where it went.
Okay. So, Ms. Giaimo?
We thought it was... okay, so that's it. Where the funds came out, where it went. Goldie, yeah, ExDerek and I were sitting there in that trucker debt position. I think ExDerek's probably still gone, but we have 3 viewers... And then all of a sudden there was 150. Like, what? I was like, are we getting this channel? Laura Knighty's channel. She covers the Laura Owens stuff.
The Court of Random Opinion.
The Court of Random Opinion.
Oh, yeah. I like her. I subscribe to her.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
And she's covering the Blake Lively and
she also was at
so big news. I may have to come and go. My parents found a lost kitten in a gutter.
Why are they creeping around all the time? What are they doing?
I don't know. This is what kittens
do. Are you talking about the parents or the cat?
No, my human parents.
Suma said they're creeping around all the time.
All of them. The whole lot.
Okay.
Yeah, my parents too. So I'm trying to help them coordinate.
Have you validated it? It's a cat and not just like a giant sewer rat?
That's very possible.
Don't forget.
Very possible.
Or a possum.
I don't need another cat.
Are people too.
It keeps hissing at us. It's got its tail's all bald.
Why does it have goggles on? Why does it have the mask on?
Why does it have the mask on?
So if I mysteriously disappear, that's why.
It's for a good cause. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get pictures if you do.
All right. So, No Thanks MK donated 10 Hear Me Out memberships. Thank you very much. Congratulations to those who got them. And remember, it's only $1.
Meowsing.
One I haven't played in a long time.
Meow Gusta.
Meow Gusta.
Meow Gusta.
Blue River, the mom looks like John Candy after transitioning. $1.99. Sorry, thank you.
Or in drag.
Hairball Yarn. How are these people getting their parents to support them like this? Are there magic words, spells? Because my parents barely know I'm still alive. Oh, that's sad.
I need the magic words to get my parents to barely know I'm still alive.
Yeah. Well, can you share the reverso?
Yeah. Can we get the antidote for that?
Because I just got a phone call at 10 to 10 at night
for a cat
from my 83-year-old dad telling me he found the kitten in a gutter.
Wait, what exactly do they want you to do? Do they not know what to do with the cat? What do they not? They want you to take it to the pound or something?
They need to get animal services to come rescue.
Don't believe it. Don't believe it.
Why don't they just? Isn't there animal services out there?
I'm not.
Why don't you just look up the number?
I did.
Call them. Oh, okay.
I did. That's why I was on mute.
I got it. You're going to be on the phone. You're not
right.
Driving out. Okay, I got it. I got it.
I got kitten and I got excited.
Well, Hairball Yarn, you as a famous LARPer would know spells more than the rest of us. So if there's incantations that would do this, I think you would be the expert. Thank you. If I may, please, they'll let anyone do a TED Talk. Dang. If I'm correct, it was a TEDx talk, so let's not get too excited about it.
TEDx talk, literally anyone can talk.
Literally anyone, and that's why they had Laura up there, and she's like, I will talk to you about the kindness of strangers. Oh,
yeah, but what Mal A reminded me that it was actually about being a victim of abuse.
Yeah, victim of abuse for an abuse that didn't happen, right? So
obviously, yeah.
Yeah, but her story was essentially her boyfriend at the time, which was 2 boyfriends ago, was so publicly abusive to Laura that a random stranger passed her a note on the plane saying, "Are you okay?" Are you okay? And then when you hear him tell the story, it's a lot more reason. It makes a lot more sense.
Of course, it's ridiculous. If no
of him
random
being like-
stranger ever handed any of my boyfriends a note, that never happened.
Well, I think, and I could be totally wrong, I think what I heard was he tried to end things with her, but this trip was already planned that they had done. And then
Guaranteed.
her family, her parents, and her, she said she was going to kill herself or something, and her parents guilted him into going. He's like, I don't want to go. And he was like, oh, God, this is, and so then once they're on the plane, then she starts acting up and going, and he was upset.
They remind me a little bit of that story, you know, that story about that young woman named Janelle who lived with her parents still.
Yeah, with the FBI or the CIA.
Yeah, the
or
CIA
yeah.
father who wasn't really in the CIA. And they have that dynamic.
They wanted to kill me because I'm too pretty, and she's
No, okay.
okay. S-Thong. Finally, my 3 faves back at it, y'all. By the way, the thong in my name is part of my last name. Promise I'm not an underwear collector. Right.
Well, that's funny because me and Hear Me Out are.
We are underwear collectors. So Suma was treated last night to just like an endless onslaught of me doing Lauren type texts.
Oh, yeah. I woke up to
as I said-
50 messages of Lauren speak.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to hear? We'll just do a little palate cleanser here before we get into this next status hearing, which is the bankruptcy meeting of the creditors. In the first part, we're going to listen to, which is 50 minutes, which is all about the GoFundMe shenanigans. Plus, you could just hear the exasperation in Jennifer's voice. Because, as I said, we all know you got to have the stuff in by the 10th. You know what you need to do. You know what you need to provide. You said it was very reasonable. You understood. What did I say? Something like, oh, Suma said she was at the dentist, right? Right. You were at the dentist, and then I said,
yeah, you said that she was getting filled.
No,
if I remember correctly.
She said she's getting fillings. And I said, oh, I see. You're dating
No,
the
I didn't.
dentist.
I wasn't getting fillings. I said I was going for a cleaning. Well, I didn't say anything. I didn't realize that I had to, you know, but then you started with the filling things, and I was like, you know.
I said, oh, I see. You're dating a dentist guy. Typical. And so there we non-Lauren stuff.
Ooh, another call.
I said, it's 3:28 my time. I guess your dentist guy has all your attention now.
It's AM, by the way.
What type of, yeah.
AM, and I was just got up.
Well, you're six, so it's less appropriate for me to be up at that time. It's 6:30, whatever. I said,
I know.
What type of, quote, feelings is he giving you? Is he an actual dentist? You said it was just a cleaning. Then I went out and got drunk with bleep. I said, then I said, oh, I see. Cleaning with his Your drinking needs to stop. And then you sent a video of this drink, which had like, what was it on top of this drink?
It was I don't know. It was somehow they trapped like smoke in a bubble, and I popped it.
You popped the bubble, and then I said, oh, we see a drink that looks like a breast. A sexual drink. Thanks a lot on that one. Thanks for that. Did the waiter show you a picture of his cock? Now, for those who don't follow Lauren, you won't get how funny this is, but this is how insanely jealous Lauren gets over anything. I went to the dentist, and you had a picture of a cool drink, and I'm talking about and fillings. Anyway.
Well, yeah, I thought you'd find it cool. Thought I'd share it with you, but no.
It's a sexual drink.
My bestie was in it, and I didn't need to get her involved with that nonsense.
You're killing us.
You're killing us.
And then I was speaking for ExDerek.
Okay, more news.
Okay.
Apparently, it was not a kitten. It is a fat cat, adult cat.
Oh,
So that really opens up the possibility that this is a raccoon.
How does that? How do you even confuse the two? It's like, oh, we sell this extra small cat. No, actually, it's a really big cat.
No. I understood because my mother said the word. We speak Spanish, so my mother said the word gatito, which could mean kitten, but it could also just. She's Colombian, so she adds a diminutive to everything.
Yeah.
So she may have been saying adult cat the entire time.
Are you
So
ExDerek?
it's a fat cat stuck in a gutter somewhere.
Derekito? Yeah. Well, it's stuck.
Yeah, it's stuck.
Did you
Or a
see him?
raccoon. So we might be in for a rough night ahead if it's a raccoon.
Okay.
Maybe it's Jimothy.
Well, I mean, shouldn't the animal protection people be in for the rough night?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
That's who we called. That's who's
All right.
going. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want my 83-year-old dad to be sticking his hand down a gutter, pulling a raccoon out of.
Imagine how many more shots he would need to have.
Oh my goodness.
Remember to hit the like button, please, as well, people. All right, so here we are. Oh, the last two lines. Did you even see our messages earlier? Ooh, pictures of a fucking box. We're getting off the phone. Never mind, Suma. You're killing us.
My name is
And then Suma appropriately responded with the usual, like a bunch of comments.
Yeah. What else is new?
It's a weekday. What do you want?
Jennifer Giaimo. I'm an attorney with the United States Trustee's Office. We are
I did speed this up to 125%.
here telephonically in the matter of Elizabeth Ann Naylor and Ronald Stephen Owens. This is case number 26-5144. We are here for the first continued meeting of creditors pursuant to 11 U.S.C. section 341. It is July 16th, 2026, and the time is 10 a.m. May I please have an appearance by Miss Naylor and Mr. Owens separately?
Yes, this is Elizabeth Ann Naylor, and I am pro se in this case.
And I'm Ronald Stephen Owens.
Okay.
And I'm also pro se.
Thank you. I understand that we have a lot of people on the call, but I believe most of them are just observers. Is there anybody on the line that is a creditor or interested party that wants to make an appearance?
Oh, yeah. Let me just say, everyone who's joining these calls, I have no problem with that. Learn how to mute your mics, because when it doesn't work, then they're going to do this private stuff with the deposition. I mean, they're still going to do it anyway because she's being evasive, right? But she could have very easily ended this early because you guys cannot mute your damn mics. You don't even have to worry about the star pound. Just look on your phone and hit the mute button. God.
Do what I do. Mute it by accident. Don't keep it unmuted.
Yes.
Yeah, half of Suma's streams are just her muted talking at us.
Okay, I don't know not half.
Why isn't she Owens? I don't know. Her name, it is weird because it's Jan Black Owens, but then Elizabeth Naylor. Not Elizabeth Naylor Owens.
You could be whoever you want to be.
That was the other weird thing I was thinking about, because they met at work, right? Her persona name is Jan Black, right? So then they start dating or something. He knows her as Jan Black, and then she goes, well, actually, my real name is Liz. Like, what would you call her at that point, even after you're married? Would you call her by her fake name, or would you call her her real name? Like, it'd be very confusing for me as a partner.
No one. Okay. All right. Mr. and Mrs. Owens, your testimony today, I'm going to be asking you questions, and it's going to be under oath and subject to penalty of perjury. Do you understand that?
Oh, Lan. Yeah, Lan would work.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you each individually to answer this question. Are either of you under the influence of any...
Well, there's Lan, which is... Is that Elizabeth and Jan, or Liz and Jan? Well, you could also flip it, right? Jan and Liz could be Jizz. Take that, Jan! Take that, you son of a bitch!
medicine or have any...
What?
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch, Jan.
...condition that would impact your ability to understand my questions or to testify truthfully?
No.
Okay. Having said that, I want to remind you that you both need to remain on this call the entire time that I'm asking the questions, okay?
Sure.
Okay. And then what we're going to do is when I ask a question, if one of you wants to answer, I'm assuming that it's going to be Ms. Naylor that answers. Mr. Owens, if
and I'm actually going to say this to both of you. If one of you answers a question and you disagree with it, you need to state it on the record, okay? You need to say, actually, I disagree. This is what I would say. If you don't do that, then you're it's going to be assumed that you concur, agree with the testimony, okay? Okay?
This is actually very smart by her, right? Because she knows what's going to happen in the future. They're going to say at some point, oh, no, I didn't agree with that. That was what my wife was saying, or that was what my husband was saying. No, unless you say you object to what they said, you agree with it. Got it?
Okay. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So having said that, I need you on your end to please raise your right hands, and I'm going to ask that you both separately acknowledge the oath. Do you each solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Yeah, you big
Okay,
guy.
thank you.
Look at that.
Okay, so we're here for
Naylor, I hardly know her.
Perfect.
your continued 341 meeting in the in your current Chapter 11 case. So you filed a Chapter 13 bankruptcy case on August 14th, 2025, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And at that time, you filed document schedules and statements in that case, correct?
Correct.
And you had an attorney that assisted you in filling those forms out, correct?
Correct.
And you read those and you signed those under penalty of perjury, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, this is the same thing as yesterday. How do they not see that they're being set up? She wants you to be on record that you signed these under penalty of perjury. It's probably because she's going to ask you about something that doesn't agree with those, you moron.
I listened to this, when it first came out or whatever, kind of half listened. And I just remember thinking, like, how can these people exist?
Like, in a world where they're not embarrassed, embarrassed by their own
Exist.
lie,
How
right?
did they get this old? How did they survive this long?
Money. They had lots of money.
And lying about it.
And lying.
And then you initiated this current Chapter 11 case on May 22nd, 2026, correct?
Correct.
And you filed at docket number 9 on May 22nd, 2026, another set of schedules and statements, correct?
Correct.
And you had an opportunity to read those before you signed them, right?
Yes.
And you signed those under penalty of perjury, correct?
Yes.
And then recently, in fact, the docket sheet reflects that it was docketed yesterday, July 15th, 2026. You filed amended schedules and statements, correct?
Yes.
And you also signed those under penalty of perjury, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to start with the amendments that were filed or were docketed yesterday. You knew that the amendments were due on June 26th, right?
Yes.
I mean, you acknowledged that. I have a transcript of the hearing in front of Judge Wansley, and you expressly acknowledged that you had to have your amendments on file by June 26th. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so can you tell me why, Ms. Naylor or Mr. Owens, why you waited until the day before this 341 meeting to file those amendments?
So they didn't even get him in. They turned him in yesterday.
The reason was because we...
Toonses says, how does autism play into this? Not at all. Oh, Laura claims she is. Yeah, I got it. She claims that, but Laura also claims she was pregnant with twins 3 times. She lies. All right?
Autism is like the new flex, it seems.
She lies.
What'd you say, Dexter?
From blowjobs.
Yeah, well, that...
Toon says she lies. That's. I'm just gonna tune you into that.
Had been attempting to hire an attorney to represent us, and we realized that we needed third-party funds in order to hire an attorney post-petition. We searched for third-party funds, and we were unable to get that.
Ma'am, this is what you said at the last 2 hearings ago. Oh, we were trying to hire an outside attorney, but we couldn't not get the funds, and I couldn't fill these out. And do you remember what the judge said? The judge said, that doesn't matter. You filed, you have to do it. And you said, okay, yeah, I understand. Why are you using the same recycled bullshit?
We realized that Chapter 11 is very difficult legal chapter to negotiate if you're not an attorney. And so it became very clear to us that we really needed to dismiss the case.
Okay, I understand.
I really don't think it would be that hard to fill those things out without an attorney. Income, assets, right? Jesus.
I understand that. However, did you want to say something, Mr. Owens?
No.
Okay.
No, I was starting to continue, and so it was my understanding.
Hold on, I got to stop you. Hold on. Somebody has their phone unmuted because I'm hearing some background noise from another place. I don't know what. Yeah, everybody please mute your phones because we're hearing somebody's followed by the pound sign on their phone. You're interrupting this, meeting if you're not going to have your phone on mute.
Eminem Nebly says, I was on mute because it was my idea to watch Batman versus Superman.
So you were explaining that the reason you failed...
With Hubs, but it was a terrible movie. Love and hugs to all. And Suma, please check your email because not sure if you missed some. Okay, thanks, love you, bye.
I'm not sure.
Is this mute problem still happening?
You were explaining that the reason that you failed to timely file your schedules and statements by June 26th was because you were looking for an attorney. That's what you're basically saying?
Yes, my understanding really was that I needed an attorney to navigate this entire process the right way. And when it became apparent that we weren't going to be able to get one in time, we filed for the dismissal. And then my feeling was that since we filed for dismissal, that those documents were no longer going to be needed.
Okay, but there was no court.
How do you say that with a straight face?
When I remember, they were only trying to submit unsubmissible documents and not submit the ones that they had to.
They just, I mean, the judge, she said before, we have to do this because the judge might not dismiss it. The judge said, I want you to provide an accounting of this because we might convert this. And you're just coming up with the same old tired, I thought because we filed to dismiss that it wouldn't be needed. No.
Court order that said that you didn't need to file those documents.
No, again, I didn't understand the process.
Okay.
Lie.
Well,
I don't believe she's this stupid. I don't think Laura is either. They are stupid, right? They are stupid that in their lies, right? But they're not this stupid to not understand this. This is feigned ignorance.
Filed your motion to dismiss on the same day that or 2 days before the documents were due, and we did have a hearing on July 1st, and you were told on July 1st that you needed to get those amendments on file, correct?
Yeah, we just listened to it.
Correct.
But yet you waited until yesterday? I mean, I'm really flabbergasted that you would think that would be appropriate time for me to go through the amended schedules, that I would only have the file stamped copies less than a full day before the 341 meeting.
Well, you know what I thought, Jennifer, was if I didn't turn them in until like the day before, I wouldn't get in much trouble, and it'd be much harder for you to like look at it and find out all the stuff. But apparently you're not an idiot.
So what you're saying... Yeah, go ahead.
My understanding is that we had sent those in earlier, and the auditor in the initial debtor interview a few days ago already had them and was going through. In the hour-long conversation I had with her.
She might have had your unfile stamped copy, but I won't work off of a copy that you provided me that was not proven to have been filed. Idiot. So in any event, we'll have to just move on, but you do acknowledge that you failed to timely file your amendments, correct?
Correct. If that's the case, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that.
Okay. All right, so let me just ask you, since that you filed this case on May 22nd, have you made any mortgage payments?
No.
Okay, but I did notice you produced to me copies of about 18 months worth of bank statements for 8 bank accounts with Bank of America, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and I did notice that 11 days after this bankruptcy was filed, you paid about $2,900 for life insurance. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, can you explain to me why you would do that after the case was filed, that you would pay? I mean, would you agree that that's not a necessary expense for your sustenance and living?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Do you have a comment? It doesn't seem life insurance Doesn't seem as pressing as your mortgage. Remember, all this stuff that she's going to point out is stuff they did instead of paying their mortgage.
Well, it doesn't seem as pressing to you, but she's got plans that will probably show us.
Yeah, I mean, she can't say it out loud, right? But like, she's like, she wants to be. Ron's on death's door. We paid for this thing for 30 years, right? Look how old he's sick. If he dies now and we stop the premiums, we're not going to get that payday.
Yeah.
Well, it is in the sense that if that's not paid and that lapses, that would be a huge issue for our living.
Well, it's not. You're not getting. It's life insurance, so you wouldn't. Nobody would get a payout until somebody dies, right?
Well, correct with this particular policy, yes.
Okay, so I help me understand then how.
Isn't that with every particular life insurance policy?
They're not going to put a foreclosure on your husband's life. Sorry to break it to you.
Isn't that every life insurance policy?
Yes, it is. It is.
I mean, maybe there's some kind of reverse annuity bull crap thing or whatever.
It's the kind of people, it's not with this particular one. It's very Nancy Nambro.
Yeah, actually, you don't. Oh, I got to test this picture a sec. Hold on. No, it's all black. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Yeah, no, with this particular life insurance policy, it doesn't pay out until somebody dies. You are correct.
Paying life insurance is a necessity while you're in a Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Well, because it's, I view it as something that is a necessity. Yeah.
Okay, you're saying that, but you're not getting any money currently from that life insurance policy, right? That's money that would only come to you in the event that either you or Mr. Owens.
And just to ground it again, these are the things she cited she paid for with the GoFundMe funds, right? That she listed financially and physically. Ron's sickness has caused many hardships. So
passed away.
Correct, but it's been a policy for 30 years, for probably more than 30 years, so to allow it.
Okay, whole life insurance pays out living benefits. Well, when is this policy going to start paying out? Maybe say that, Jan. Hey, look, it starts paying out next year. That's why we pay it now, because we're going to get more income starting next year.
To lapse would seem to be not a very responsible decision.
Okay, but
what about not paying your mortgage? Is that responsible?
Think that it was more important.
What about giving all your money to your daughter who doesn't work? Is that responsible?
A couple of kids, crazy.
Important to pay life.
What'd you say?
Crazy and in love.
Oh yeah, they're young kids. They don't know what they're just.
No, it's just grabbing life by the short and curlies.
Yep. Hey, well, they're on the road. They're carefree wherever the wind takes them.
Insurance instead of your mortgage on your home you're living in?
Well, the issue with regard to the mortgage.
And I love Jan for saying this argument more than once in this call, but it's great. By the way, Compass Realty Hitman $2. Can she put life insurance on her daughter's twins? No, because they don't exist.
If she could, she would. Guaranteed.
I love how Jan keeps going, no, it wasn't going to satisfy the house, so why pay it?
As I say, we have been trying to deal with the mortgage company for quite a while. We have had different violations, and the $2,900 that we paid to the life insurance would not have done anything with regard to saving the home. It just wouldn't have been enough money to save the home.
No, but it's something that you could have made that kind of payment to show some kind of good faith effort to try to pay your mortgage, but you opted instead to pay life insurance, right?
What? It's like crazy talk. What are you talking about? Why would you do that? Whoops. Sorry. Pull up the next one. Okay.
No, I disagree with that from the standpoint that if you had seen the statements that we were getting from the mortgage company, we were getting statements indicating that the only thing that would save the house would be to make a full payment of the arrears, or alternatively, a full monthly payment of the amount that was due. There was absolutely no indication that $2,900 would have gone anywhere to save the home. And as I say, at that point also, the home was scheduled for a foreclosure auction, anyhow for, I believe it was July the 28th. So it didn't seem like a $2,900 payment would have, done anything at all to save the house at that point. And we also, again, had been dealing with the mortgage company. We had just sent them a letter about a notice of error and issues that we were bringing up to them. So it was...
I love how much Jennifer's clicking. You can hear it clicking. I mean, it's sped up 125%, but she's basically going like this, like...
Yeah, at first
trying to
I
look
thought
at
it
the
was
stuff.
you. I was like, what's going on there? And then I realized, no.
No, it's Jennifer, and she's pissed because
Also,
this
the
doesn't make any
talking is,
sense.
like, so much talking and so stupid.
And actually, it's funny because she's actually proving the point of why the bankruptcy process exists as it does. Because if you're somebody that the Owens owe money to, right, and these people could be like, "Oh, I had $2,900, but it wasn't going to pay off the debt anyway." So I went out and I threw my daughter a nice little birthday party. We had a great meal at Maggiano's or whatever. I don't know. We invited all our friends out. We had a nice little party, right? No, it's protected because you keep spending your money on other stuff other than your debts because you're like, well, if it's not going to pay it off, it doesn't matter. But I could just declare bankruptcy. That's why this process exists, Jan.
The second the idea came to their mind that maybe they would claim bankruptcy, they stopped paying all their bills.
Yeah. Yep. Well, the life insurance, you don't want to lose that. The problem is there's no stay on life insurance. There's no stay on life insurance policy cancellations with bankruptcy. And also, we're probably going to find out that Macy's would stop her card if she didn't make that payment as well.
The mortgage.
The only thing she's paying for is his life insurance and antifreeze.
Are there rules that you have to be informed if someone gets life insurance on you? Real question. It used to be that you didn't. I know that they changed the laws, but the people, you're supposed to sign it if you're the person being covered. The problem is they're not doing the one and most obvious thing. You have to sign it in person or provide on virtual video that yes, I am this person. Here's my ID, and I'm electronically signing it. They're not verifying that the people signing the papers are the people signing the papers. That's how Corey Richards tried to do her scam. All the others, right? So
issues were in dispute at that point.
All right. Well, do you know whether the foreclosure is going to proceed? I believe it's at the end of July.
We were notified after we brought up our concerns with regard to the violations that we believe have happened in terms of the mortgage. We were notified.
I love the arrogance of saying, oh, there's all these errors with the mortgage, right? All these wrongdoings, right? Ma'am, you're not paying your mortgage. How about that error? Is this yeah, there we go. This is what we use for the Lauren.
That they have pushed out the foreclosure auction to September the 29th. And our hope is that we will be able to reach some sort of a resolution before then.
Okay. All right. I'm going to turn now. I want to talk to you about the GoFundMe account or whatever you call it, I guess, GoFundMe account that you set up. Or, well, let me ask you, are you the person that set up that GoFundMe page for Mr. Owens?
All right. It's a very straightforward question. Are you the one that set it up? And what Jennifer is looking at is who wrote the language on the GoFundMe. Should we pull it up so we can read it? Well, no, she's going to read it for us. Well, no, I'll pull it up. But anyway.
The GoFundMe was the idea of friends of ours who knew that we were really in a difficult situation at that point and suggested that based on the goodwill and the tremendous support and following that my husband has had over the years, that it would be a good thing to reach out to people who might want to help.
Okay.
I mean, don't your supporters feel really stupid right now because they gave all this money and you're still trying to file bankruptcy? You're still saying we're going to lose everything, and you're 190. I would be so pissed if I gave my friends or acquaintances that I knew like $5,000, and then I learned that they're $190,000 behind on their mortgage and they're paying off the Macy's card. What are you doing here, Jan? All right, this is the GoFundMe. Let's look at this here a sec. I will read it out loud. Let me zoom in. Can you see it here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nearly. Yep.
It's big enough? Okay. And like I said, they've raised it several times. They raised it from 60 to 120,000 to 140,000. I share as soon as if they hit 140, but the donations have dried up, they would set it to 180. For nearly 5 decades, Ron Owens was the voice that guided, entertained, and inspired countless listeners. I'll do a radio voice on KGO 810. Today, the iconic Wow letters will be retired as they fade into history. It marks the end of an era. But Ron's legacy continues to resonate deeply in the hearts of those who tuned in day in, day out for his wits, wisdom, and unwavering commitment to thought-provoking conversation. Today, Ron is facing profound challenges. After living with Parkinson's disease for 23 years, his health battles have intensified. He has courageously faced not only Parkinson's, but also 4 bouts with cancer, most recently colon cancer, and serious heart issues. These medical struggles have taken a toll, both physically and financially, on the man who has been the pillar of a strength for so many. If Ron's voice has ever brought you comfort, sparked a meaningful conversation, or simply made you smile, now is the time to show your love and gratitude. This GoFundMe is an opportunity for us to give back to the man who gave us 48 incredible years of radio excellence. Every donation, no matter the size, will help Ron and his family navigate this difficult time. Let's come together and support a Bay Area legend and remind Ron that his community stands with him, just as he stood with us all those years. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and for keeping the spirit of KGO and Ron Owens alive in your hearts. With love and appreciation, Ron's friends and family. All right. I mean, very clearly makes it sound like I got a lot of medical bills, right? Ron is very sick. We're poor.
And they act like he wasn't getting paid all those for those 48 years. I mean,
yeah, they act like he doesn't have a $14,000 a month pension.
A lot of people get old and get sick and they don't have that kind of money. But here we are.
Yeah, they didn't say it was going to medical bills, but they said they had a lot of expenses because of the medical issues. All right, here we go.
Shut that down, that GoFundMe?
No, it's still up. What do you think I just looked at? What do you think it was?
I mean,
did you notice it kept saying?
It
kept popping up. It kept saying, "Do you want to donate? You want to donate? You want to donate?" No.
It could be a video. I didn't know you were on it live.
We announce the top 10 songs. We're gonna go from all the way number 1 all the way down to number 10.
And so, who's the person that authored the request for the donations on GoFundMe? Who wrote that?
That was initially authored by someone who was a friend who at the last minute decided, once they were really aware of what was going on with the smear campaign against us, did not want their name attached to it.
Long answer.
Yeah, who doesn't make any sense.
That's all. Family friend.
I mean, I won't share the screen again, but it says organized by L and L. Yeah. LL for Ron Owens, which to me sounds like it might be Laura and Liz. Just a thought.
Actually, LL Cool J, but he doesn't want his name affiliated with this anymore.
Well, I have administered the funds. The funds were going into my husband's account, and I administered them. Going to pay the bill.
People thought I sounded like Bob Saget. That's not how Bob Saget sounds. Yeah, Casey Kasem. It was obviously a stick up the butt DJ. Like, for your drive time commute, we got the hits going on all night long.
After that.
Okay, so, but I need to know the name of the person who authored the GoFundMe donation request.
Well, I'm the one who posted it.
Well, I asked who authored it. Who's the person that chose these words? Who wrote it?
I didn't take it as bad, Rachel. I'm just kidding.
It was the work of friends of ours who had said.
Well, you said it was one friend that doesn't want to be involved, and I'm sorry, but I need to know his name.
So, if this person actually exists, this is an incredibly stupid tactic by Jan, because you're already under the suspicion of not being truthful with the bankruptcy court. And now you are openly saying, I don't want to tell you the truth about this person's name. I don't think the person exists. I think it's just her, right? Why didn't she just say, yeah, it was me who started it? But she knows, well, because I wrote that on there.
Yeah, there's a reason that the question is being asked, and she knows what the reason is.
and her stupid okay, well, just say it's me. No, it is you. And if you say just say it's me, we're going to hold you to it.
Also, that was what a long. I mean, she's been her whole life has been spent lying. She can't be a little quicker. I would just be like family friend. Or I don't remember.
Yeah, or say like, I don't know, my daughter. You have to ask my daughter. And then your daughter can
whatever.
Your daughter is constantly coming up with fictional evidence. She can create something of an email from a somebody said Bland Jack. How about Jizz Baylor? That's combination. Right, took the J and the B onto Liz Naylor. See what I did there? It was a play on words.
I like it.
But it makes it sound like
you're a modern day Shakespeare.
Makes it sound, yeah, I am really a modern day Shakespeare. That's right.
Next up on today's countdown, 3 twins in a row.
Locked in at number 83 on the charts for 85 months in a row. Twin pregnancy hat trick coming up from, hear me out.
What's his name?
Well, then it was, then go ahead and say it was me because I posted it.
Go ahead and say it was me.
Miss Owens, you already testified.
I'm saying it was people who were friends of ours had said this is what you should do.
I understand.
And then as I say at the okay, well, I'm
no, you said that you indicated that there was one individual who wrote out this request for the donations, and that after drafting it, that person did not want to be associated any longer with the GoFundMe due to what you call a smear campaign. I need to know the name of that. Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish.
Are you sure just because they realize who you were?
Need to know the name of the individual who wrote this donation request. I know you're trying to resist it. I know that person doesn't want to be involved, but they are involved. So you need.
I really like how Jennifer just calls it out like it is. She could just take down the answers and then later present it as that. No, she's calling it out. I know you don't want to say. You just said this. Now tell me.
To give me the name of the individual, please.
Well, I finalized it. I'm the one that finalized it. These were informal conversations about what should be said, and I finalized it. And it was informal conversations with more than one friend who suggested. So I finalized it. I posted it.
It was a conglomerate of friends that suggested all these things.
Also, since when does she listen to people? My guess is she does not want to take advice.
No, she doesn't. But they're like,
does what she wants and then blames other people that they told me this was a good idea.
You pretty sure it's Laura who wrote the GoFundMe? I don't know.
Okay, so you're not going to give me the name of that.
Oh. Well, but she could just say, my daughter's friend. I don't know. You'd have to ask my daughter's friend. But I administer it because they weren't asking who started it originally. They were saying who wrote the paragraph. Jan, you're already admitting that you managed it. So what is the problem? Just saying, oh yeah, Laura wrote it.
Individual, is that correct?
Well, because it was.
I don't want to know why. I'm asking. Are you going to give me the individual's name? Yes or no? That you said that originally authored this.
I'm saying put it on me. I'm saying I'm the one that posted it. I finalized it.
But that's not.
I posted it.
But that's not what you said. You
so altruistic.
Originally said somebody else drafted it, and my question to you is: are you going to give me the name of the person that you testified a few moments ago initially drafted this donation request? Are you going to give me that name? Yes or no?
I said that there were informal conversations. I finalized it. That there were informal conversations.
Yeah, ExDerek, this is how this whole 3 hours goes.
Oh my God.
No. We're only listening to the first hour. We're only listening to the GoFundMe portion tonight before we move on to the Lauren stream, but then the other stuff.
At the last minute, it was like, no, I don't want to be a part of this. I can't put my family out to be targeted by these people.
So who?
But she wouldn't. This is why this lie is so stupid. The person who wrote or came up with the language, their name isn't on it. Yours is, Jan. What is that person talking about? Like, oh, I don't want to be associated with it. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Who was that person?
Here's what an alternative. Here's an alternative from the J-Vis brain up here. Or hear me out, Brayden. That is nothing to do with my actual name or initials. My guess is they had this, Jan and Laura had the GoFundMe idea, right? But they knew that the GoFundMe would bring a lot of scrutiny towards the Owens family because, you know, she's got her daughter in hot water, right? So they probably
she has 17 fake pregnancies that she's.
They probably approached a lot of Ron's friends or family friends saying, "Hey, would you mind setting up this GoFundMe? It's nothing. You just set it up."
And they were like, "Hell no!"
And then so we could, and then and they're like, "No, I don't want to be involved in this at all."
Yeah.
Right. Or they initially said, "Yeah, I guess so," and then they realized, "Wait, what are you doing? No, I don't want to be involved."
I don't even think so. I think they do. They keep everything in house because they obviously never think they're going to get busted, and they can do everything better than everyone else anyway.
But
Laura took pen to paper, and that was it. The end. Fan.
But in their world, suckering a family friend into being the administrator of this account, yeah, that would be a problem for them, but for the friend. But it would be a lot easier for them to do plausible deniability. Like, we didn't set this up. It was this person, right? They just love Ron so much.
So stupid.
Why isn't? Oh,
said that to you.
I finalized it.
No, who was that? Who was that person? Hold on, let me finish. Who was the individual that said to you, "I don't want to be a part of this"? Who was that?
I don't want to give their name because, as I say, these were informal conversations. I was the one who finalized it. I'm taking full responsibility. These were informal conversations with people who said, these are the things that we ought to say, and these.
Weird language, informal conversations. Do you have formal conversations with your friends, Sumo and ExDerek?
Very.
Yeah.
And very formal. So you go to your bestie and you say, "Look, okay, all fun and games aside, we're on the record
usually
right now."
Notary Public or something.
You get a notary
Pardon
there.
me, would you mind if I popped your cocktail with my finger?
Yes. Yeah. I always have a notary hanging around with me, my friends. I'm like, I just want the record.
I am a notary. I can't take any chances.
Oh, okay, good.
This is what will touch people. But I finalized it. I posted it, and I have administered
Lou, I don't know that they did. Lou said they changed the initial wording of the GoFundMe so it'd be more vague about where the money was going. I looked on the Wayback Machine. I didn't see any other description other than the one that was originally posted, if that makes sense. Because the one that they're reading and that I just read is the one that's out there now, and it doesn't seem vague enough. There could have been, maybe there's a prior version that I just didn't see, though. But it wasn't in the Wayback Machine.
Right. But the reason that I'm asking for this, Miss Owens, is because it's important to understand what the intent was when this was drafted. And you initially said that some...
Okay, so it was before it was captured. So maybe they put it up and then changed it like the same afternoon or something because people are seeing it a lot. Okay. Does anyone know where's the original? Is there a snapshot of the original out there somewhere on Reddit? I tried looking for it. If somebody knows where a link of where it is, it'd probably have to be a mod because it's a link. Paste it in the chatteroo.
A family friend drafted this, but it's apparent to me that you are not going to give me the name of that person. So I'm going to move on. But you are now saying that you're going to take full responsibility for the drafting and posting of this GoFundMe post and request for donations, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask you then. You tell me, what was the specific purpose of, and I need specifics. Don't give me generalities. I want to know the specific purpose. What specific money were you looking to raise for what specific purpose from the
She's already pounding
GoFundMe.
Kind of sounds like a New Yorker to me.
People said that she sounds like you, Suma, yesterday. Like, oh my gosh, Jen sounds like Suma.
Rest my case.
To get caught up on our mortgage at that point and to pay down credit card bills and to cover our expenses. We were at a...
But then why didn't you pay anything on your mortgage, you dumb You got the money.
Point where I think we had just very, very little in the bank account, very little, it was a bad situation.
Okay, so the posting mentions profound challenges arising from medical struggles suffered by Mr. Owens, correct?
I don't have the post here. I don't have it. So I'm relying on you to quote it.
Well,
again, they don't have their stupid paperwork in front of them.
no, you just said you were going to take full responsibility for what was said in there and posting it. It's still up on the GoFundMe. You're aware of that, right?
Right.
Okay. So on your computer right now, are you able to pull it up while you're talking to me?
I don't have my computer with me right now.
All right.
No, I'm not in a situation where I have a computer.
Okay, so as the person who authored and is 100% responsible for the posting of this donation request, do you recall that the post referenced Mr. Owens' extreme medical troubles?
Yes.
Okay. So do you agree that the suggestion from this post was that you needed money to cover medical bills?
What? No.
No,
Now you're
that
talking
was
crazy.
not. It was simply saying that he had extreme medical struggles and that there were financial struggles as well. They were not tied together. It was simply saying that there were that he'd had all of these medical issues, and on top of that was dealing with financial issues as well.
Okay, because
I don't think there's nothing in there that specifically says it was for medical bills.
Well, it doesn't say that, but it does say, and I will quote you, today, Ron is facing profound challenges. After living with Parkinson's disease for 23 years, his health battles have intensified. He has courageously faced not only Parkinson's, but also 4 bouts with cancer, most recently colon cancer, and serious heart issues. Now, this is the very important part here, Miss Naylor. These medical struggles have taken a toll, both physically and financially, on the man who has been a pillar of strength for so many. So you see...
I like my reading better than Jennifer's. But no, I like Jennifer's better than mine. Sorry.
See how I tie the medical struggles to the financial? Because you say it right there.
Oh, sick bird. Yeah, see how I tied it to it there, Jan? Because you wrote it.
These medical struggles have taken a toll both physically and financially. So what did you mean by that when you put that in the donation request?
Well, we have had, he hasn't been able to work, so he hasn't been able to do, financially.
He's retired.
I mean, he's an old man already. What are you doing,
He's retired. Why do you think you get a pension? Because you're retired, and it's $14,000 a month. He's not the one struggling to bring in the cash here. He could be
there's
comatose.
Someone who's able-bodied.
I mean, I can't assume it's all his pension, right? But I assume he probably has a much larger share of the pension than Jan Black, the reporter, the local news beat or whatever. Go ahead. Sorry. No. Continue.
No, I don't remember.
You must continue.
I was just going to say, I'm sure he was
Suma
making
knows.
money. That's all. I was just going to say what I said before. I'm sure he was making plenty of money, but I also shouldn't.
Suma knows.
Well, and that's what I said to people. I was like, I feel bad for Ron. I know he's involved in how his daughter was raised, and he was partly responsible for creating.
I feel bad for Ron too, but I just saw a picture of him a few years ago. He was dyeing his hair, and I kind of was like,
No, but what I'm saying is, like, once he realized who Jan was, and they're already married, right? At that point,
yeah.
What are you gonna? There's like no way out. He's just like kind of like distracting
We have something
himself.
in this country called a divorce.
How are you gonna? Can you imagine the literal hell that you would go through divorcing Jan Black?
I mean, he didn't have to be the kind of father who would just give in to his children no matter what.
No, but
and he didn't have to dye his hair either. That's where I draw the line. Sorry.
That's what I'm focusing on. It wasn't the father giving in. It was a 2 versus 1. It was mother and daughter. Laura and Jan were always lockstep against him and whatever Sarah did. Right. So you're losing a battle. And maybe there's good things about Jan, like her personality. He loves her. He wants to stay with her. And then she's just like, I can't do anything about this.
Yeah, but that didn't matter.
I'm not absolving him of it. I'm just saying now that he's very old and sick, I feel bad for him because he has no money. He's going to lose his house. He's going to, this is, it's tragedy. Like,
no, I know what you're saying, of course, and you're right.
I'm not absolving him. I'm just saying of anyone that I could possibly have sympathy for in here, it's Ron. Nobody else.
You didn't see the picture of him with his dyed hair, though.
Just support the family. So yeah, there is that.
Okay, so you're saying that as a result.
Plus, okay, the other reason I respect him, right, is when on the body cams, he's not freaking out on the body cams, right? He's going, okay, yeah, I'll go over here, right? He's sitting there, and then both of those two dingbats going, he can't sit in that chair, he can't sit in that chair, right? And he's just like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here, you know, it's okay if I sit here? Like, he's more respectful of anyone, and even when on this call, he goes, look, we're just trying to provide you with what you're asking for. I'm sure he's not involved in what she's providing. He's just trying to say, like, we're not trying to hide anything, because I genuinely believe he doesn't think he's trying to hide anything.
If my father was
because
old and
she's
sick,
probably lying to him too,
screaming my head off at 7:00 in the morning, she should have gone quietly and respected her parents' home and her parents.
Wait, say that again.
She just shouldn't have carried on like that if she was so concerned about her father.
Oh, okay, Laura. I thought I was.
Yeah, during the body cam.
Yes. But I mean, we are also. What I'm saying is, we as a group who are observing this, unless there's proof out there somewhere, are making an assumption that Ron actually knows what's going on. How is it that impossible to believe that Jan, who has control of everything because Ron has Parkinson's and is bed-stricken or whatever, or bed-laden, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just depending on his wife to take care of this stuff. He doesn't know what she's actually doing with all the money. He doesn't know where the money is gone. She's spinning some tale, just like she's spinning a tale to this person, to the trustee. And, you know, even if he goes on Facebook and says, oh, it's for medical bills, why would he not believe that if Jan is saying, oh, yeah, you had this surgery, that was a lot of money, right? Like, why would you suddenly question your spouse if you didn't have reason to, or like you should have? You should have been more conscious of it, but that's all I'm saying. Like, we don't know what the dynamic is going on here. So.
Result of these medical struggles, it took a toll on Mr. Owens financially to the point where you're saying he couldn't support the family.
Well, yes. I mean, that's part of it, but it's
okay. But at the time that this was posted, Mr. Owens and you were collecting at least $14,000 a month in pension income, correct?
I don't think he's senile, but
I will say this also, though. You know, there are dynamics in families that we could never understand. Like, they have probably struck a balance over the years where this is where he belongs. You know, I mean, she takes care of him in her way, and they have a daughter who gets a little, you know, kooky sometimes, and they've struck their balance there.
Well, I was going to say, even with the businesses they run, right? Look at the businesses. The one that Ron could be involved in, Liz Max, the property, it's been stated he wasn't. It was Jan was running it, right? Then he got Quartet Farms. The guy, he's probably not involved in that. All these businesses, right? He's just like, okay, whatever. She is obviously the one in control. Like, Jan isn't the one driving these. Hey, we're going to do these ventures and that stuff. They're not like traditional retired man activities. So. I don't know. I'm not defending Ron against what his daughter did or anything like that. I'm just saying we don't know how much gaslighting Jan does of Ron as well. Does that make sense?
Of course.
He's not senile, but he's very restricted in his movement from what I can see, and he's not in good health.
Correct.
Okay. So let me ask you, were there any specific medical bills that you
Okay, yeah. AKA the cat lady just said Jan controlled him even when he was still doing radio, calling him on every commercial break, and he listened to her over his producer. Okay, see, I didn't even know that, but that's exactly along my prediction, right? She's control freak, right? So.
But some people work well with that. They like that.
No, I know, but like that fits in with the scenario where she's like, I'm handling all the finances. He's just like,
it's unfortunate that she's a total shyster, but there you go.
Yeah. All right, so she's asked, is there any specific medical bills he paid?
Correct.
Okay, so let me ask you, were there any specific medical bills that you intended to be able to pay using GoFundMe funds?
Yeah, Lou. I'm not going to read it out loud, but yeah, Lou. I mean, the question is very straightforward here, Jan. You said he has medical bills and expenses. Why not just provide all these medical bills you paid with it? Because it doesn't sound like you provided any.
Not that I recall, but again, the way that it was...
Be like, do what you got to do. I'm done here.
What?
I mean, it's just bullshit. I hate that kind of, like, You know, people who are going to do that, they don't threaten.
Oh, you're talking about yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe he believes her.
It's always a shock. Yeah, well, shame on him.
Well,
I understand she's his daughter and all that, but
right. That's what I'm saying.
Come on. Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is that my father, if I said that to him, he would not put, I mean, that's just.
I could say it to my parents once, and then the second time they'd be like, "Okay, no, remember all the stuff we said we were going to do."
You're still here.
No. Like we're getting committed.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That's the other thing. That's the thing is you do what you should do is for your child, and I mean, I would never say that to my parents for a lot of reasons, but one is they would lock me away. You know.
Yeah, you only do the threat once, right? If you find them once, I mean, you bring them in that time, right? But like twice, like when you got to bring them in at that point. But when they're just saying it, be like, okay, no, you're not. Why are you not seeing your counselor? All that kind of stuff. You got to change their environment. You can't just go, okay, well, if you promise not to do it again. Blue River says, I hate that Laura's staring at me. Well, she's staring at all of us.
She's so creepy, but I feel you though, Blue River.
I think I actually like it that she's tilting in from the side, being like,
She reminds me of like someone on To Catch a Predator, like that. She's got that look.
Well, you know this is her mug shot, right?
Yeah, but it's the same look as they have. Like it's a
dead eye.
Like yeah.
But you could even see it on her face, her contempt. From like, I can't believe this is happening.
She looks like her father, and she looks a little bit like a man.
Can't believe this is happening. All you do is get pregnant by the bachelor. Really? I'm the one who's arrested? Okay, yeah.
Phrase, the way that I recall it being phrased.
Oh. We're seeing the Sharilla family 20 years from now. Well, not really, because she's going to be in prison for the rest of her life. But yeah, this is who she would have become. But she doesn't talk as street as Sharilla, as Mackenzie.
It was not indicating that this was to pay for medical bills. It was that we had.
I'm going to back it up because I stepped all over it. Again, she's asked, what medical bills did you pay with the GoFundMe?
Not that I recall, but again, the way that it was phrased, the way that I recall it being phrased, it was not indicating that this was to pay for medical bills. It was that we had financial struggles as well.
Which tells me they didn't pay any, because again, if there were medical bills, she would have easily listed them on there, and she listed none or almost none because she can't even name any of them.
So what you mentioned earlier is that you wanted.
But this was also months before. This was 8 months before we filed for Chapter 13.
But you said you did it in order to avoid bankruptcy.
Was to help us to try to avoid having to file for bankruptcy.
And again, that leads to the question, how much goddamn money did you need?
Because we were in that kind of a difficult situation.
Okay, well, let me just back up. You mentioned that the GoFundMe funds you intended to use to pay your mortgage and pay credit card bills and get out of debt. That's what you just said a few moments ago, correct?
I mean, again, I would be so pissed. $140,000, it's a modern day college tuition, right? What was the point? What was the point? You guys are going to file bankruptcy anyway. What was the point of the 140 giving it to you? You just pissed it down the drain.
Correct.
Okay. So basically, what you're really telling me is that you were using the GoFundMe to clear yourself of debt. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we said financial struggles.
But you were using
in the Go.
But so what you're saying
financial stuff.
Right. Right, but I'm asking, really what you were doing was using GoFundMe to clear yourself of debt. You just said that, right?
We were using it to try to avoid foreclosure, to try to get caught up on our mortgage, to try to pay bills for financial struggles. Yes, that's what the GoFundMe is for.
Well, typically, isn't it used to help people pay ongoing bills that they need to be able to pay, to pay rent and to pay for groceries? Hold on, somebody is on the line. Is there somebody with you in the room, Ms. Naylor, behind you that is talking?
Absolutely not.
Okay. It's just you, the two of you? Okay. I need everybody to mute their phones. So everybody listen, you need to mute your phones. Somebody has their phone unmuted.
So, I mean, in the end, it's unlikely. I mean, other than your one weird case, I don't ever.
Yeah, see this again. Mute yourselves, people.
Morons.
Oh, okay.
Okay, hold on one second.
I hate people that don't check their mute. I hate it. When somebody yells out, hey, you're not muted. I don't think I've ever not looked at my phone or looked at the thing and be like, oh, am I not
Even if
muted?
I know I'm muted, I always check after that.
Yeah, you double check it.
Yeah.
But this inconsiderate person is like, oh, it can't be me. Plus, whatever she's listening to, why are you on the call? You can't pay attention to whatever that person is saying and this call.
I don't understand it at all.
No.
I don't think it'll happen, but
And it doesn't happen that much. That's how you know it's really stupid. Because I have gone to meetings with like the entire company, you know, and everyone's muted. I mean, they probably mute them too. It's true. But like if there's a panel up there, and some of these people are idiots, but you know, muted.
It was funny, that call I mentioned on the post where I said I had this call with this meeting where I had this argument. Kit Kat Meow correctly pointed out, or I think it was Kit Kat Meow pointed out that, or was it Hello Baby maybe. Is it about demo phones? I was like, oh yeah, I already posted that one time. And then I immediately took it down the next day when I sobered up.
as it goes.
It's not a video though. Nobody's being doxxed by it. But the thing that always irritated me on those calls was the owner was the person that would be on the phone, and he was in the car and shit, and he would not mute himself. He needed to not be on mute because he wanted to be able to jump in and say anything at any point. So we'd just hear in the background. Like, hey, can we mute you?
Dude, they think how young we were when we had a shot. Just a generation.
Okay, I think I took care of the problem. Okay, so but the bottom line is that you were saying that you wanted to pay past debt, including credit card debt, right?
Well, yeah, because if the credit cards weren't paid, we wouldn't have, the opportunity to continue to pay for food and basic expenses.
Well, like, for example, one of the credit cards that you deemed it necessary to generate funds from a donation through GoFundMe was Macy's.
Oh, my God. I mean, of all the embarrassing cards to be paying, like Macy's, it's your Macy's charge card, ma'am. Are you trying to stay? You're trying to stay in the fall fashion? Like, what are you doing? Do you not have enough clothes? What are you buying at Macy's?
I mean, come on, Macy's. Just don't embarrass yourself.
You thought it was essential to get donations to pay?
You know what it is? I think it is. She's got some friends or something. Their favorite place is Macy's, so she has to shop there. So she cannot have that card canceled because that would be very embarrassing for her.
I think that's the only card she has left because all the good ones have been canceled.
Gotcha.
Do I need to remind you that Hear Me Out used to work at Abercrombie and Fitch?
No need. Yeah.
No need.
Macy's still is in business. Here it really would be something if it went out of business because it's the Macy's, with the parade and all that.
Sucking on my titties like you wanted me, calling.
Just another day at Abercrombie.
Your Macy's bill?
Can I help you find something?
I was a brand rep. So what? Yeah, I had to oil up before each shift. Who gives a shit?
Looking for anything in particular?
Looking for anything in particular?
I had a huge breakfast this morning. I had an Adderall.
I had an Adderall and a water. And
remember that one?
Anything I can help you find? And I'm standing there and I'm just dripping oil off my hands. Like, wearing the most ridiculous combination of outfit shit ever. Yeah. We already went through that
17 collars popped.
Yeah, no, the board shorts over jeans and then a sweater underneath the track jacket with a tank top on top. With flip-flops in the middle of winter.
We also...
I'm asking, no. hold on. You have to answer my questions, Miss Naylor. I am asking you, did you think it was necessary to...
Oh, I shopped at American Eagle as well.
Ask for donations through GoFundMe to pay a Macy's credit card bill?
We didn't ask for donations to GoFundMe to pay a Macy's
didn't
bill.
happen?
No, we did not.
Right.
However, that's what you used. Hold on.
Find.
However, you admit that you used GoFundMe funds to partially pay a Macy's credit card bill.
No.
No?
We had pension and Social Security money. We had pension and Social Security money that also...
Oh, my God, you dumb. We're talking about the GoFundMe money, which you listed on the paper called Accounting for GoFundMe Money.
Came in that month that would have been used to pay a Macy's bill of whatever it would have been. I have no idea what it would have been, but not a sizable amount. We did have pension and Social Security money that would have paid for that, and we did not ask for GoFundMe money to pay a Macy's bill. No.
Okay, well,
right,
do you recall...
No, you didn't ask for it. That's what you spend it on, though. Do you understand the difference, Jan?
Last week providing me with a document entitled Accounting of GoFundMe Funds?
Yes.
And who drafted that?
I did.
Okay. So, and that was just last week that you gave that to me, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So
but she's not going to remember anything.
On item number 3, I don't know if you have a copy of it in front of you, but item number 3, and you can look at this after we're done, but item number 3 says, itemized list of, quote, necessities payments for the calendar year 2025. Do you recall having listed that in your accounting of the GoFundMe funds?
Yes.
And one of the credit cards that you list here as being a necessity, you made 10 payments to Macy's. It's on your GoFundMe accounting.
And
are you denying now that you used GoFundMe funds to pay a Macy's bill when that's what you said in the accounting you gave me last week?
Context.
I was being transparent.
I love she's going to use the word context as if some get out of jail free card. Context.
In terms of showing you what monies had gone out of our main checking account and what they had gone to pay for. If I hadn't included that we had paid Macy's bills, that would have been incorrect. But did we ask for GoFundMe money for Macy's? No. Did we have Social Security and pension income that had covered that? Yes.
Well,
so I was trying to be very transparent in terms of showing exactly everything that had been paid out of our account and, everything that had gone in.
Well, that's actually incorrect because I have your bank statements and there was a lot more money going out than the payments that you list on the GoFundMe accounting.
Oh, no.
You
have all the statements. I forgot. You sent them to her, you moron.
You picked specific payments in your accounting of the GoFundMe funds that added up to...
I really feel like Jennifer did like the little air quotes accounting herself at her desk on a non-video call. She's like, in your accounting.
$144,000. So you did not itemize all the payments that went out of all of your accounts, correct?
No, I thought, you had said that it would be difficult for you to try to look at all of those. I had tried to give you absolutely everything and be as transparent as possible.
I understand that's what you were trying to do, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate that you...
Shut up, Jan.
You gave me a document titled Accounting of GoFundMe Funds, and included in the list of necessities are 10 payments to Macy's that you included as an account on the accounting of the GoFundMe funds. Are you denying now that you used GoFundMe funds to pay Macy's bills?
I am telling you that it was an attempt to be transparent as to what had gone out from our main checking account over 10 months or however long it was. Again, if we did have pension and Social Security money coming in, that certainly would have covered the GoFundMe.
But that was not. But you didn't include. You didn't itemize all disbursements from your account in this accounting, did you?
I believe we did. We gave you everything.
No,
we gave you the statements for.
I'm talking about
the statements.
I'm talking about the document that you gave.
Jan, you dumb. Talking about the statement that you said this is the accounting for the GoFundMe money, not all the statements you provided. God. This is so frustrating.
Me called Accounting of GoFundMe Funds.
Called.
You gave me that document last week, correct?
Correct.
And you start off by saying GoFundMe made 151 payouts totaling about 132,000. Use of funds, summary use of funds. And you list a summary how payments were $66,000 was paid to the first and second mortgage. $47,000 were paid to credit cards and consumer loans. And then you itemize how that $47,000 was calculated. And included in that are Macy's payments. So according to your accounting, the Macy's was part of the way that you used the GoFundMe funds.
Well, again, then you would have to separate that from the pension and Social Security money that we had coming in.
Well, we did separate it. In fact, according to your own accounting, this is you used this accounting to show exact. Hello.
Hello.
Who's that? Is that Mr. Owens?
Yeah, I'm saying.
Okay. Do you have something you want to add?
Does somebody have the duh?
No.
Would you have something you want to say, Mr. Owens?
I got birds.
No, nothing.
Okay, I heard somebody say.
There was somebody else that wasn't us speaking on the line just a minute ago. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Sounded
let me
a lot
just
like
tell you, though,
Ron.
when you gave me this
What a
accounting of
shit show.
GoFundMe funds,
What are you talking about?
I do want to note, according to your own accounting, only $243,000 of the over $132,000 of GoFundMe funds was used to pay medical copays, according to your accounting, correct?
What'd she say? 23,000? Is that what she said? Medical copays was 23,000. Okay, yeah, so very small percentage, 15%.
Wait, you said 243,000?
No,
Actually less.
200. I'm looking at your accounting, and I think you need to look at your accounting with me so that we're on the same page here. And if you can't do that, then I'm going to have you come in for a full deposition, and I'll use these as exhibits and have them in front of you. I'm giving you the opportunity now to avoid that. If you could pull up your own accounting that you sent me.
I'm going to have to go get my computer and sign in and everything.
All right, then we will do that.
Okay, why don't you just explain to me again? This was all stuff that was before this was 8 months before we even filed for Chapter 13. So I'm a little unclear as to why, except for
the judge ordered you to do it.
Campaign that was been hounding on this. I'm unclear.
It's not the smear campaign. This is so sad.
You don't have to be clear on it.
Okay, here's some Abercrombie Dave's picks. Here we go. Here I'm rocking some kind of maroon with the old college 3 stripe on there. So
Look at that.
This would have been December 21.
A little disappointed.
Here's me in my my Abercrombie track jacket with a nice little polo underneath, and then the traditional tee, graphic tee underneath, and I'm drunk. And then,
get out of here.
Oh, you don't say, really?
And then this is in my Abercrombie board shorts on the beach.
I'm so wet.
I don't have a lot of pictures because this is back before digital, so everyone can just suck it.
To watch after 11.
All right, somebody needs to mute their phone, and please repeat. It's very annoying for the people that are on here. If you want to be a part of this, you need to mute your phone. Say that again, Miss Owens, because I didn't hear you.
No, I was saying I just am unclear as to what. This was 8 months before we filed for Chapter 13. This was an attempt to avoid having to file for bankruptcy.
Say it again, Jan. Say it again. This is an attempt to avoid bankruptcy. Say it again. I dare you.
Bankruptcy, and I'm just unclear as to what it has to do with the Chapter 11. I'm just seriously, I'm just asking.
I didn't back it up, by the way. She's just repeating herself, and this is obviously slightly after my Abercrombie days, where I got the cat carrier.
Slightly after.
Slightly after. Chloe did not like this at all.
They did. I did like their cat carrier line, though.
What cat carrier line? Abercrombie's? Nice. Yeah.
Excepting for the fact that that this online smear campaign has been hounding this and trying to, they've tried to hound every aspect of our lives. So
okay.
I just don't know what it has to do with Chapter 11.
I understand. Right.
It was a year and a half before Chapter 11.
I understand that you'd like to think it's not relevant, but it is, and I don't have time, and it's not appropriate really for me to kind of advise you on the relevance, the legal relevance of determining the disposition of the GoFundMe funds. But we can go back to the medical. I mean, I'm just looking at your own.
Are you sure I wasn't the drummer, Matt Calloway?
Accounting.
I was in a lot of bands back then.
Is that medical copays were of the $132,000 that you received from GoFundMe, only $243 went to medical copays.
Oh, I misheard that. $243, not $23,000. $243 out of GoFundMe went to medical copays. That is ridiculous. Why even list? It's embarrassing at that point. Just say, "Oh, I missed the category." That is terrible. I graduated in 2000.
Into your own accounting. Do you recall putting that in your accounting that you gave me last week?
Yes, and it probably was more than that. That was what I could come up with, at the last minute. Again,
last minute? It wasn't last minute.
Of an attorney and putting it together very quickly. And again, the GoFundMe did not say that it was for medical bills. It did not say that. It said because of financial struggles.
Okay. Well, are you
issues.
saying that I can't rely on the accounting that you provided me?
Well, I don't think she needs to say it at this point, Jennifer. I think it's pretty clear. All right, last part.
That it's not accurate?
I'm saying that I am human. I am not an attorney. I did the very best to be as transparent as possible. It seemed to me very obvious from the GoFundMe deposits. It seemed very easy to see where the GoFundMe money then was transferred into our main checking account and then went to pay bills.
Okay.
And that it was exhausted in the first couple of months. I think the issue has been that people are thinking that somehow there was money left over from GoFundMe that we're hiding, and it seems to me very transparent that the money went to pay bills, again, because as it had been said in the GoFundMe, whatever you want to call it, pitch, that we had serious financial struggles.
Okay.
It did not specifically say for medical bills or medical copays.
I understand that.
Medical challenges, many of them.
Okay, but wouldn't you agree though that by mentioning all of Mr. Owens' medical ailments, the implication was that the money was needed to help fund health and medical expenses?
What?
Would you agree with that? Yes or no?
No way. She's talking crazy.
Okay.
No.
Okay, that's fine. That's enough. You don't need to explain. It was a simple yes or no question. So you don't agree that the implication from your GoFundMe donation request that the money was going to be used for medical and health bills. You don't agree.
No, it was an update for his listeners, his followers, his supporters, who have been loyal with him over 46 years.
So I didn't recognize that before. That's a new level of stupid. No, we were just informing him on how he's doing, and we were doing a GoFundMe at the same time, unrelated to his health issues. It was a 2-for-1.
Hold on, Miss Owens. I'm going to have everybody on the phone right now who's on here check their phone and make sure it's on mute. This is a recurring problem, and I'm not sure. I might have to stop the meeting and have this and ask that we do this meeting not in a public forum because this is interrupting whoever is on the line. I know we have a lot of people on the line, but if you are not Mr. Owens or Miss Naylor, your phone must be muted. I am not going to keep doing this. I understand that there's public interest in this hearing, but you cannot have your phone on not on mute. You are interrupting this hearing, this proceeding. So please, everybody who's on this phone call right now, check your phones and make sure that it's on mute. Please. Okay, we're going to have to, if this happens a couple of more times, then I'm going to continue this, and I'm going to ask that instead you have you come in and we'll do a 2004 examination, and that will be private. I cannot keep dealing with these interruptions through people failing to keep their phones muted.
I can't work like
okay,
this.
So let me just ask you, and to be clear, you would agree that payments to a Macy's credit card would not in any way alleviate Mr. Owens' medical struggles, right? You would admit that pretty obvious fact, right?
Yes.
Okay. You say that the wording said that it was financial struggles. Did you ever state in any responses to donations or any public statements that the funds were being used for things like your Macy's bill?
Absolutely not, because they were not. In my view, those were expenses that were being covered by our pension and Social Security.
But you'll agree that according to your accounting of the GoFundMe funds, you state that some of the funds were used for Macy's.
Again, that was, I think we're going to have to agree to disagree on this one. I have explained how I interpreted it. My effort was to be transparent about absolutely everything we had paid out of all of our accounts. There was no intent to hide anything. And, like a lot of people, we had a Macy's bill.
Right. So I understand. So what you're saying is that when you did this accounting, you understood that the accounting of the GoFundMe funds was a request to determine how you used the $132,000 approximate amount of GoFundMe funds, right? That's what you understood it to be?
Yes.
Yes. And you didn't think it was a request to show the U.S. trustee just itemize all the payments that came out of all of your accounts over an 18-month period, correct?
Jan, you're being set up.
No, I actually did think that
you're being set up, Jan.
That was it, and that the GoFundMe was part of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I did think that you transparency and was part of it.
So you're saying that you believed that when you were told by the judge is the one that ordered you to provide this accounting of the GoFundMe funds. Isn't that correct?
Correct.
And now if I submit this accounting that you provided to me and I say, Judge, this was the accounting that was provided to me by the debtors, are you going to deny that what you put in here was an itemization of how you used the $132,000 of GoFundMe funds? Will you deny that?
I am not attempting to deny anything. I'm trying to be very transparent. Again, we had other funds that came into our main.
You don't have to repeat yourself. I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you because we are going to be here for hours and hours if you keep repeating yourself because you're just not answering my question. I'm going to ask one more thing about this. You said that you believed that the accounting of the GoFundMe funds was intended to give the U.S. trustee an itemization of all of the disbursements out of all of your accounts over the 18-month period. Is that what you're saying?
My understanding.
I'm asking you, is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Yes or no?
Can you phrase that again?
Sure. A few moments ago. Well, actually, why don't you just tell me in your own words? What did you believe that when the court ordered you to provide the U.S. trustee with an accounting of the GoFundMe funds, what in your mind did you think you were required to produce to the U.S. trustee?
That's too specific. I don't want to answer that.
My understanding, my interpretation was not that the court just wanted the GoFundMe. My interpretation of that was that they wanted everything. And so that's why
So you provided them literally limited things. You didn't provide them everything. What is wrong with you, Jan?
To give everything, and why I told the judge.
I'm so done with it. I'm ready for Lauren so much. I can't wait for this to end.
Whatever it was when we had the status conference, when I said that we had turned over voluminous statements because I wanted to be very transparent. I didn't want to hide anything. And I did not think that the judge was specifically just asking for GoFundMe. I thought she was asking really for everything and to be transparent on everything. So that was what, I wanted to do.
Well, then I'm going to take a break. I want you to go get the accounting of GoFundMe funds that you sent me. I'd like to do that because I need to understand. That's what you're saying. So according to what you're saying, what you provided me was an itemization of all disbursements out of all 8 bank accounts over an 18-month period. Is that what you're suggesting to me?
I'm saying we gave you the bank statements. We gave everything that we thought would be, an issue. Everything that you might want to see. And as I say, what I had done when I had initially looked at the transfers from my husband's account that the GoFundMe money had gone into our main account. I thought it was very clear as to what had come in and what had gone out, and that it was basically exhausted after the first couple of months. So that was my.
What'd you do? Where'd you go?
I had to. Jeez, I was only gone for 1 second. I had to reload because my thing froze for some reason.
Okay.
Interpretation, and as I say, we can look at the GoFundMe. I stand by what we submitted to you, and as I say, I put the stuff together as fast as I could, as thorough as I could, and as transparent as I could. So,
okay,
if you want to get to the nuts and bolts on the GoFundMe, I can. I think that there are people on the line who are.
All right, enough. I can't, Miss Naylor. No, I'm not going to allow you to use this as a platform to just start going off. No, stop. I had asked a very specific question. I want to at least have you admit that you provided me with a document that you titled "Accounting of GoFundMe Funds." Will you admit that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Of course.
And among the other items that you list is that you used funds to pay for ADT home security, correct?
Correct.
And was that something that helped alleviate Mr. Owens' medical struggles?
Well, we have had threats on our life.
The answer is yes or no. Did that alleviate Mr. Owens' medical struggles by using GoFundMe funds to pay for ADT home security systems?
Well, we have a medical alarm on there, yes, so that if we need to contact
we know what they're for,
medical services, we can contact them through the ADT system, yes. And in fact, the night before last, I had to.
Okay, I don't need to know about the night before last. That's okay. Please try not to deviate. Please try not to deviate because we will be here all day. Also, among the items that you listed is that there was significant amount of money paid to life insurance from the GoFundMe funds. Is that correct?
If that was to catch up again on the life insurance is pretty important.
Well, life insurance is not important currently for your day-to-day existence, correct?
Well, you're correct in that, but if something were to happen to my husband and we needed, and there were a life insurance payout, it would help to pay for living expenses. So, yeah, I think in a certain way it is important. And again, it's been a 30-year payment that we don't want to lapse, that he doesn't want to lapse, correct?
Yeah. If one of my illnesses determines.
I cannot understand you, Mr. Owens. You have to enunciate better or step away from the phone. It's very muffled.
All right. I'll let my wife talk. Go ahead.
No, I want to hear what you have to say. I'd like to hear from Mr. Owens. I just couldn't understand what he was saying. It sounded like he was on top of the phone.
Yeah. When I'm sitting here, I'm trying to absorb it as best I can. I've got a lot of really painful issues going on right now. But what I'm trying to say is you can take anything that you've given to anybody and then just say, is this really count or this doesn't count? The point is, we are as transparent as possible. We don't have some kind of a fund in Costa Rica or something like that. We have nothing to hide. Everything we're doing is trying to give exactly what you've asked us to do.
Okay. All right. So now I want to talk about, you keep mentioning your pension and Social Security income. And in fact, over an 18-month period, you had because I have all of your bank statements and I was able to calculate.
I have them all.
You had $378,600 of income from pension and Social Security alone.
$378,000 and they're filing bankruptcy?
In 18 months?
Yes.
Yeah, in a year and a half, yeah.
Okay, and you're saying that those funds were not sufficient to cover your regular living expenses?
I mean, it's insane. What are they spending all that money on?
I mean, Katie,
they have nothing to show for it.
He sounds like he's talking from beyond the grave, but that's all performative, I think. Also, I mean, I know he's
the
sick.
Hacienda.
I don't know. That's how he has always sounded when I've heard it. That's how he sounds on the body.
Yeah, but also the way he's like, I'm dealing with a lot of painful. Well, then why'd you step in? Why are you talking then?
Well, because he knows his wife is failing.
Yeah, but but all he did is add to the bullshit. He just said the same thing she was saying. So,
what were you gonna say, ExDerek?
I don't know if his wife would even allow him to speak.
Yeah,
I think he's just as frustrated listening to her with her stupidity.
I don't know. He seems like he's really cut from the exact same cloth.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean,
again,
I could be wrong.
I really don't know what they spent their money on. That's why it has to have been for something intangible, like the legal fees of their daughter.
They had horses, and who knows? People.
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna blow. Well, then that's just stupid. You're blowing so much. I mean, horses is stupid already. It's a very expensive hobby, but I mean, they did sell. They sold Frosted Flakes for $25,000. They leased them out or something.
Yeah.
Remember Frosted Flakes?
Mm-hmm.
What in God's name are you talking about?
The horse, Frosted Flake.
Who the hell's Frosted Flake?
One of their horses.
One of the horses in their business. They'll talk about it in this.
What, they turned it into glue?
In further parts of this call, but they're talking. It's like, oh, we leased out a horse, and then Jennifer's like, wait, are we talking? You can hear. I think it's almost you can hear flipping through. Wait, are we talking about Frosted Flakes? They're like, yeah. It's just such a funny name to interject in this lunacy. It wasn't like, spots or I don't know what they call them.
Cornelius the horse.
Cornelius, right? Secretariat. Frosted Flakes.
Well, I again, the statements speak for themselves. You can see what came in and you can see what went out.
Well, I'm asking you, you at the time that you were collecting.
The statements aren't speaking for themselves, man. The problem is what the statements are saying is implicating you in stupidity. No, they are speaking for themselves, but they're not saying the same thing that Jan is. That's
no. Oh God, no. They're not saying anything.
But Jan is representing that they're saying the same thing that she's saying. Like that, it says speak for themselves.
I'm going to refresh again. Just don't be scared. I'll be right back.
Just giving you a heads up. This is the last section. We've probably got about 8 minutes left on it. So just,
don't leave us.
In an 18-month period, you had income from Social Security and pension of over $21,000 per month at the time that you asked for GoFundMe funds. And you're telling me that even though you had over $21,000 per month in combined income, which was guaranteed income from pension and Social Security, you still needed to ask for GoFundMe funds?
Yeah.
Because at that point, we had had a lot of expenses that we hadn't anticipated, and we also are other.
What kind of just curious? What type of expenses would you not anticipate related to this story? What do you think might fall into that category?
My daughter's court case, lawyer fees.
Yeah. I mean, that's the number one thing on my list of expenses we did not anticipate. Because if it's from the carriage or the stable horse, give up the horses, send them over to the glue factory, whatever. It's lawyers, it's the court fees, it's her stupid case. That's why this is interesting, because of how self-inflicted this. She not only did she ruin her own life with these stupid lies, she's also destroyed her parents, but the parents destroyed themselves by raising this daughter. Here we go.
Sources of income had dried up, and so we had gotten in a.
But that is also another thing I will admit that I believe Jan on, right? Their stupid podcast. Nobody told me. Yeah, I'm sure whatever they said, it made $83,000 in 2024, right? As soon as or 2023, I don't remember what year it was. Yeah, as soon as your daughter became known as a national serial pregnancy faker, just like with the TEDx talk, and everyone's like, "This is bullshit." Nobody wanted to turn into nobody told me your stupid podcast. They're like, no. Yeah, so it did have an adverse on your income as well, which is probably why you should look at your daughter for this problem.
We've gotten in a bad situation. You can tell better than I can from.
I'm not okay. Sorry, I'll clarify. Horses themselves are not stupid, and they are expensive. Yes. What I'm saying is losing my house over a horse versus selling the horse to somebody else who could take care of it, because if I don't have money, I can't feed it, is stupid. Make sense? That's what I meant.
Looking at the statement.
Yes, I can. And I'll tell you that if you look at daily living expenses, right? And I'm looking at your Schedule Schedule J. And you just filed this. It was docketed yesterday. We're going to look at your Schedule J. And you actually did not properly add up the amounts. Do you have a copy of your amended schedules from yesterday?
Again, I don't have my laptop here. I don't.
Oh my God.
We're doing this not in a room where I have it.
This is stupid. This is fucking awful. I want you to know this. This is sheer misery.
Yeah, you're right.
But like I said, it's a dumpster fire. But this is like the old retired joke, or the sad recycled joke I would do sometimes when I'd be like, oh no, I've got them in my briefcase. You know what? I forgot the password. I've got them right here. Sorry. Well, no, sorry. My briefcase is in my car. I've got those figures for you right away. Yep, I got it. Like, this is that lame. No, I don't have it in front of me. Why are they always coming onto the call with nothing? Like, they think it's just going to be some like chit chat interview. Like,
And this trial was supposed to, her trial, Laura's, was supposed to happen on Monday. Now they postponed it 90 days.
Yeah.
That I thought it was just telephonic.
Okay, well then
It is telephonic. You can still have a computer in front of you, you moron. Jesus.
I might have to have you come in.
Oh, I thought it was telephonic, so I didn't bring the phone. Or didn't bring the computer.
And I'll do the best I can, but it's kind of frustrating that you don't have your own documents in front of you. If we look at...
I don't know anything about selling the horse under false... Was it not really a horse? Was it a mule?
Was it really a horse?
Was it a mule painted like a horse? Was it?
It was Laura.
Just utilities, mortgage, healthcare, groceries, and home maintenance. You would have in excess of $3,000 a month of disposable income. If
Wait, somebody said it's a laptop. It's Kit Kat. Now, I guarantee Jan is one of like the people that buys the laptop and then has it like set up on like a station where it, like they only use it at the desk where it's docked, and they're like, no, this is where I got it set up and everything. I'm like, okay, so why don't you just buy a desktop?
You just look at your $20,000 or over $21,000 per month gross income.
Yes, this is like listening to the Blue
So
Family.
You look at
that is so right. This is Forever Wanderer. This is like the Blue Family literally burning cash. It's so insane.
You said what? Utility, mortgage, and what?
Utilities, mortgage, healthcare, groceries, and home maintenance. The things that I'm taking out, I did a thorough analysis of all of your bank statements, and there were significant transfers to your daughters. That's number one. So in some way, it sounds like the GoFundMe funds were being used. Well, let's just admit this. The GoFundMe funds were commingled with your income from pension and Social Security, correct?
They came in specifically to my husband's account, and the only thing else other than the GoFundMe that...
You dumb just say yes. Do you not understand what commingled
cannot
means?
get an answer out of this one.
comes into that account for him is his Social Security.
Right.
And then we made transfers from his account to our main checking account to disperse for bills that needed to be paid.
Oh my God. In other words, you commingled. When you move all the funds into one account and then you do a bunch of stuff with those funds, that's commingling. Damn it.
Again. So, based on what you just said, even though the GoFundMe funds were all going into the 0349 account, which is Mr. Owens' account, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one banana, Michael. How much could it cost? $10?
Okay. Those monies...
Wait, does the mom say that or does Job say it? I don't remember.
...were then transferred to other accounts and commingled with the funds in the other accounts, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So really, once you transferred the GoFundMe funds out of...
We're within minutes of the Lauren excellence.
Ronald Owens' 0349 account. There was no way for us to be able to specifically account for how the GoFundMe funds were used, because now it was commingled with your pension and Social Security income as well as business revenue, right?
There was no business revenue coming in at that point.
Well,
if you're talking about when the GoFundMe came in, the main part of the GoFundMe was for I think January and February. I mean, it was started in December of 2024, and I think the main part of it came in and went out in January and February, and I don't believe that there was business income coming in at that point.
Oh my God, shut up.
On a significant level, I don't believe that it would have been commingled with any business income.
All right, well, now we're going to turn to that, because that's actually a very false statement.
And that's the end of the portion we're looking at. They're going to move on to the business
Jesus
income next
Christ.
time. But I almost have to listen to it again. I don't even want to do it.
You want to listen to this fucking shit again?
Oh,
no.
boy.
Part 3, whatever. There's 2.
We're getting angry at Derek.
There's like an hour and a half
This
left
is
of this
awful.
bullshit. I know.
Yeah, it is.
This is awful.
It is awful. Wait, where's Suma got? There she is.
Zuma disappeared again.
So what we're going to do is we're going to transition over to the Lauren stream now, and the Lauren stream, just to let you know, this is something I have never seen another stream do this. It doesn't mean it hasn't been done, but I've never found it. What we're going to be doing is reading the text messages. So you know how Jamie, Amy, the robot, and Lauren hooked up in early 2020. While she was going into the coma with COVID and losing her voice, Lauren, unbeknownst to everyone, was secretly opining for his long-lost love, Debbie. And he was texting her, actively trying to get her back, and he ramps it up after he gets engaged to the robot. He literally tries to cheat on Jamie Amy again. And that's the text message stream we're going to read with Suma as Debbie.
Debbie is my favorite.
Yeah, and she did you preview it all? Did you see some of the stuff she's... Okay, well, yeah, okay. That's cool. And then either myself or ExDerek will read for Lauren. But we'll see. Okay, thank you everyone for being here. Please hit the like button on the way out. Remember to subscribe if you're not already, so that you can join us again. We are live almost every weekend with lots of fun shows. But thank you. And leave a comment. Finger. Kiss your finger. Delete your archive. Let me start the other thing. 1 second. Pull up this. Oh, YouTube thinks that you will like the video here. Okay? Wherever I'm pointing. What?
You doing that now?
Yeah. No, that's what YouTube told me to do.
Oh.
Okay. YouTube thinks you will like this video. All right?
Okay.
Bye.